holding a book, or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Welcome to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Your reader for this hour is Patricia. Starting with the Amherst Bee for Thursday, March 26. Village looks to amend when amplified music can be heard, by Bob Kupsik. A packed Village of Williamsville board meeting took place Monday night, with many in attendance voicing their concerns over a proposed change in amplified music in the village. Mayor Christine L. Hunt said the amended local law would not affect music on Main, but would ban amplified music from 4 p.m. Sunday through 3:59 Thursday. She cited misinformation on social media that led to many people being in attendance. After talking about many positive projects happening in the village, she said, "I would rather be discussing all of those things tonight. Unfortunately, it went into a misinformation campaign that obviously got out of control because we're standing room only." The mayor said the village has vested interest in the success of music on Main and that the law aims to balance the needs of businesses and the concerns of residents regarding noise levels. The purpose of a sound amplification permitting law of 2026 would be to restrict the days and hours in which a mayor's permit authorizing an activity involving a sound amplification device may be used. During the public hearing, many residents who lived close to music on Main spoke on the proposed changes, with many saying the music is not a significant issue for them. Some people also mentioned that noise levels can affect those with special needs. Musicians at the meeting who spoke included drummer Bill Mason, who pointed out decibel levels of various sounds, including a snare drum citing 100 decibels and other common sounds like traffic, which he said could be 85 decibels thunder, 120 decibels, and a crying baby 110 decibels. "I have many autistic children that come out to see me play," said Mason. "Sometimes children have to wear headphones or ear protection. I just want to point out that those autistic children or children with special needs, they may also have to wear ear protection for traffic, which could be up to 85 decibels. Eggertsville drummer Dan Mink suggested that large LED sound level meters on microphone stands could be used to monitor decibel levels. He also suggested that residents who think the music is too loud could use noise machines to block out the music. Deputy Mayor James Celeste, who is also a musician, in a Facebook post by Mason prior to the meeting, wrote that the law does not reference decibel levels. As many of you are aware, outdoor amplified music already takes place on Main Street nearly every Thursday through Sunday from June through September. In addition, Island Park hosts several events throughout the summer that also feature outdoor amplified music. Taken together, it is not unreasonable to acknowledge that, for some residents, the overall frequency can become overwhelming and intrusive on their ability to enjoy being at home, which is the reason for this amendment. Former village mayor and musician Dan Delano said that no one should expect zero backlash from music on Main, citing other factors besides the music, including public urination, vomit, and garbage. He said the village is not going to end music on Main. "I don't think 99.999% of the people want that to happen. But what is old is having this discussion again and again and again. I believe that this ordinance stops that from happening. Written in stone, and there you go." Jim Nan, managing partner at Ration Ales, one of the participating establishments during Music on Main, said there was a substantial increase in the cost of permit fees to participate in the music series last year, and added that the new law could hamper businesses. Jordan Abrams of Williamsville said there is a need for enforcement of noise ordinances, and the community should monitor the issue and remind businesses of the noise ordinances regularly. Mayor Hunt said that data from the village shows that there was barely a need for permits on Sunday through Wednesday. So if there is music on those nights and I don't see those permits, then somebody's not following our policy that's already in place, and that's alarming to me. The mayor said establishments would not need a permit if amplified music takes place indoors and does not spill over outside. She said the permit would also be necessary for residents for gatherings or parties that are held outdoors. It's universal, it's not just for the businesses. Contrary to those who don't mind amplified music from Music on Main, Cheryl Meyer said there are a lot of people that are concerned about the noise. That's why there's a petition that someone did and got 75 signatures in a matter of 2 weeks during cold February. She said those in opposition have wanted to work with the village as well as the bar and restaurant owners in the past, and it's a great opportunity now to work with you. Continuing with the Amherst Bee for March 26 from the editorial section, a couple items from the Spindle column by Bob Cusick. 990 lane closure. The New York State Department of Transportation is advising motorists that the eastbound lane of North French Road between Interstate 990 and Campbell Boulevard, State Route 270, in the town of Amherst will be closed on weekdays from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., and the traffic will be shifted into the center turning lane. The lane closure is necessary to facilitate a highway improvement project and is expected to continue for up to 3 weeks. NYSDOT expects to close the westbound lane of North French Road and once again shift traffic into the center turning lanes around the second week of May. Drivers should expect delays and consider alternate routes when possible. Extinguished. New York State's annual burn ban is now underway through May 14th to help reduce the risk of wildfires during the dry spring season. The ban prohibits burning leaves, brush, or yard waste, burning wood piles for disposal, burning paper or cardboard, burning construction debris, any uncontained outdoor fires. Small cooking fires, fire pits with proper fire guards, charcoal grills, and propane or gas grills are still permitted. Always have water or fire extinguisher nearby when using any permitted fire source. The ban exists to protect air quality, reduce risk of wildfires, and ensure public health during peak dry conditions in spring. Moving on to letters to the editor in the Amherst Bee for March 26. Some people complain, do nothing. Seems just about every week the same person calls the Bee Herd, complaining about local and county Republican Party leaders. With more people leaving New York State in the last 5 years than any other state, Amherst, Buffalo, and New York State, each millions of dollars in debt, with Democrats continuing to raise taxes, the complaints are directed at the wrong party. While the caller falsely states that the increase in Republican enrollment is nonsense, according to the Board of Elections, Democrats lost over 700 registered voters in 2025. Guess which party they joined? People are paying more attention to the lack of transparency, bullying, and the increase in taxes occurring in Amherst. Under the former Amherst Republican chairman, there were about 14,000 more registered Democrats than Republicans in Amherst. Currently, under new chairman Bob Davis, there are about 12,500 more Democrats. Republican committee members voted the former chairman out of office for a number of reasons, including refusing to abide by our bylaws. He just refused to follow the rules. Current Republican committee members are thrilled with the transparent, energetic, knowledgeable, and honest leadership of the current chairman, Bob Davis. Mr. Davis welcomes new ideas and wants what's best for our community. Amherst used to be the safest community in America when Republicans were on the town board. Back then, Republican supervisors worked full-time, unlike our current supervisor. How do you manage a town as large as Amherst if you don't show up for work? People have a right to complain, but with Democrats controlling our state, county, and town, there's no reason to complain about Republicans. However, at least have courage to sign your name like I did. And it's signed J. D. Pasquale, MacArthur Drive, Amherst. And another letter to the editor. Maple Road is a disgrace. Maple Road is a county road under the local jurisdiction of County Legislator Gene Vinyl. Unfortunately, for some reason, Vinyl doesn't seem to care about our Erie County sheriffs and first responders or safe highways. For at least 10 years, Maple Road has been the worst road to drive on in Amherst. Emergency vehicles have had to go slower when using Maple Road, sometimes costing precious minutes in life and death situations. Average drivers are swerving left and right to avoid cracks and bumps in the road. Yesterday, I saw 4 cars driving westbound illegally in the turning lane, which could cause a head-on collision to avoid the potholes on the bridge over Ellicott Creek. If the potholes were any deeper, you could call it a cemetery. The number one concern of any elected official should be safety of residents. Vinyl has shown a total lack of concern when it comes to resident safety. She even voted against a resolution commemorating our Sheriff's Department's 205th anniversary. Why? Why does she hate those who try to protect us? Maybe it's time to ask yourself, what has Gene Vinyl done for me? In my case, it makes my road and my community more dangerous. If it takes our county more than 10 years just to repair a major roadway, why in the world did we give them Westwood? Wake up, people. It's time to stop complaining and start changing things at the ballot box. Gene Vinyl continues to ignore the needs of Amherst residents. However, if polling cars repaves Maple Road this year, just remember he did it to protect Gene Vinyl in an election year, not to protect us. What a shame that it takes an election year to do what should have been done long, long ago. Signed, Kathy Aquilina, Maple Road, Williamsville. And ending the Amherst Bee for March 26 with the Be Heard column, here are a couple items. 1, the bright yellow signs on Garrison between Main and Worley are for pedestrian crossings. That means stop at the crosswalk. 2, welcome to the town of Amherst, where anything goes. Although the overnight parking ban on town streets is in effect until April 1st, it is officially okay to park on town streets if it is not snowing. This was told to me by the Amherst police in response to a complaint that I made regarding an individual who repeatedly parks overnight on our street. In other words, rules are made to be broken. Try calling our local building and zoning departments when ordinances are likewise being violated. They respond with just a warning to an individual, give them every leniency, and do not follow up. These departments are complaint-driven only, hence neighbors are pitted against neighbors. This creates a toxic situation. When did it become okay to not follow the rules? I thought they were in place for our safety and to protect our property values. Apparently, homeowners are quick to forget 11.4% and the reval that immediately followed. You are listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier radio reading service. The time is 2:10 p.m. We're turning to the Clarence Bee for Thursday, March 26. Clarence Conservation Council leads Arbor Day tree planting and open house by Emma McElligott. Every spring, volunteers in Clarence head outdoors with shovels in hand, planting trees that may take decades to reach full height, but only minutes to put in the ground. The yearly Arbor Day activities organized by the Clarence Conservation Advisory Council have become a tradition focused on conservation, education, and encouraging residents to take an active role in caring for the town's natural resources. Co-chair Stephen Diver said the tree planting partnership that now anchors the Arbor Day activities began several years ago when two local physicians approached the council during the COVID-19 pandemic looking for new places to plant trees after running out of available space in Amherst. They came to us and they said they wanted to plant trees, and that was kind of the answer to our prayers, Diver said. As a council, we're always looking for groups that want to do volunteer activities, and then we try to match them with projects on town properties. According to Diver, the council often works with scout troops, church groups, school organizations, and informal volunteer groups, helping them find projects that benefit public natural areas throughout Clarence. We look at these natural areas as town assets, Diver said. We try to figure out how we can make them better for the public while also protecting the environment. This year's planting effort will again take place near the Clarence Highway Department, where volunteers planted trees last year. Co-chair Cheryl Cantlin said the new plantings were intended to improve wildlife habitat, while also adding visual and environmental value to the site. We're not only planting trees for appearance, Cantlin said. They help pollinators, they provide food for birds and other wildlife later in the season, and they contribute to the overall health of the environment. In addition to tree planting, the council regularly organizes educational programs, hikes, and community events at the Nature Center and other locations, often in partnership with local organizations such as the library, school programs, and youth groups. We try to engage the public as a whole, but especially children, Canton said. If you can get kids outside and interested in nature early, that stays with them. Maintenance is also part of the council's work. Volunteers return to previously planted areas to install protective tubes around seedlings, monitor growth, and replace trees that do not survive due to weather or wildlife damage. When people plant a tree, they don't always think about what happens after that, Diver said. We try to manage the project from the beginning until those trees are big enough to survive on their own. The council has also completed other conservation projects in recent years, including installing bluebird nesting boxes, assisting with bat house reconstruction, and helping build elevated platforms intended to attract birds of prey in undeveloped park areas. Members say these projects are designed not only to support wildlife, but also to give residents more opportunities to observe nature close to home. Attendance at events held at the Nature Center has grown, according to Cantlin, with more residents using the trails and facilities for recreation, education, and family activities. We're seeing more people using the Nature Center and the trails, and that's something we really want to encourage, she said. Being outside is good for mental health, physical health, and for building awareness about conservation. 2 public events are scheduled as part of this year's Arbor Day activities. A community tree planting is planned for Saturday, April 18th at the Clarence Highway Department, and the Arbor Day open house will be held April 25th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Nature Center, 9030 Sheridan Drive, featuring a tree identification hike, service projects, and informational tables from partner organizations. Residents interested in volunteering or proposing conservation projects can contact the council through its Facebook page or attend one of its monthly meetings, which are typically held on the second Thursday of each month at rotating locations. We're always looking for new ideas and new people who want to get involved, Diver said. A lot of what we do comes from the community, and we want to help make those projects happen. Under local news for the Clarence Bee for March 26. Clarence High School students explore business operations during Walt Disney World trip. Students in the Clarence High School Academy of Business and Finance participated in an educational trip to Walt Disney World from Monday, March 9th to Thursday, March 12th, where they explored the behind-the-scenes operations of the theme park. Clarence students joined peers from Lakeshore High School to take part in workshops focused on park operations, including how Disney trains its employees, known as cast members, to manage daily guest experiences. The sessions emphasize logistics, analytics, and problem-solving strategies used to support large-scale operations. They're skilled in their training and showing students their logistical work, analytics, and problem-solving, said Heather Hartman, a business teacher and academy advisor. Their lessons reinforce the things we're trying to teach in the academy throughout the year. In addition to attending workshops, students participated in team-building activities with Lakeshore students, including group challenges and a scavenger hunt that encouraged interaction with park guests. It was fun to work with people we have never worked with before, said Samantha Angler, a senior. It was interesting to see their perspective on how they did things. They were very dedicated. Angler said the trip marked her first visit to a Disney park and provided insight into the complexity of its operations. It was cool to see how everything ran and how they made everyone happy, she said. There's more that goes on into it than it seems. Hartman said the group also received positive feedback from park guests regarding the students' behavior during the trip. The Clarence High School Academy of Business and Finance is a 3-year program that combines classroom instruction with work-based learning experiences. The program is affiliated with the National Academy Foundation and is designed to prepare students for careers in business and higher education. And from the letter to the editor section of the Clarence Bee, Dollar General Hollow Edition, A Blessing in Disguise. The retail chain, once met with skepticism in Clarence Hollow, has proven to be a success. Residents are using the store regularly for household necessities, food items, and affordable beverages. The selection is broad and prices are competitive. For residents without access to transportation or those on fixed incomes, the store offers a convenient short walk to obtain everyday items. Customers often include a wide cross-section of the community. It's not uncommon to see luxury vehicles parked outside, while inside the register lines frequently extend several customers deep. The Clarence Town Board and Planning Department worked to ensure the store would differ from other Dollar General locations. A stone wall at the front with an exterior design resembling a southern coastal home helped it to blend with the neighborhood rather than appearing as a typical deep discount store. Many of the residents who initially opposed the store have become regular shoppers. The opening of the store demonstrates the potential benefits of giving new developments a chance to serve the community. Signed, James A. Dussing, Clarence Hollow resident. Turning to the Cheektowaga Bee for Thursday, March 26. Cheektowaga Central School District outlines a $50 million Project Cornerstone 2026 by Michael Pulse. The Cheektowaga Central School District held a town meeting at 7 p.m. Monday, March 23rd in the high school auditorium to provide an overview and answer residents' questions about the district's proposed $50 million capital project. If voters approve the project, the district will work with Gordon W. Jones Associates Architects, PC, Buffalo Construction Consultants, and M.E. Engineering to develop the improvements. A public vote will be held from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday, April 14th in the Raymond L. Carr Board Room at Cheektowaga Central High School. District Superintendent Scott Zips said the project, officially titled Project Cornerstone 2026, is designed to align the district's educational spaces with its 4 cornerstones: well-being, structure, relationships, and engagement. Middle/high school improvements. Some of the project's most notable proposed building improvements include renovating the shared library media center, which Zip called very outdated, adding a music wing with new band and choral rooms in the middle school, Middle and high school students currently share a music wing. Renovating the shared middle high school auditorium stage. Constructing a secured vestibule entrance and updating the main office in the high school. Renovating the middle school's main office, dean's office, and counseling office while adding a vestibule entrance. Adding new security safety film on exterior doors and windows around the perimeter of the middle high school and Union East Elementary School. Constructing new roofing systems for the middle high school and Union East. Building new dugouts in the middle high school baseball, softball, turf fields. Undergoing life safety system improvements, including new HVAC rooftop equipment and building backup power generators at the middle high school and Union East. Pine Hill Primary School reopening. A major aspect of the project is reopening Pine Hill Primary School for students in pre-K and kindergarten. The district currently rents Pine Hill to Erie 1 BOCES, but is not planning to renew the contract. ZIP said the district is facing increased enrollment and a higher need for special education and ELA resources, which is part of the reason the district is expanding and making renovations to the middle high school. To make Pine Hill into a primary school, the district plans to construct a new vestibule entrance and renovate the main office, OT/PT room, locker room, cafeteria, gym, and bathrooms. Improve the exterior of the building to enhance its appearance. Construct a new nurse's office. Upgrade lighting. Construct a fence around the perimeter of the school. Add new security safety film on exterior doors and windows. Undergo life safety system improvements. Construct new roofing systems, boilers, water heaters, and more. If the project vote passes, Pine Hill is expected to have its grand opening in September 2028. Construction on both the middle high school and Pine Hill projects will likely start in April 2027. ZIP says the district plans to reassign staff as needed, so it will not have to hire a full complement of new employees for the Pine Hill School. Funding. The $49.8 million capital project will be funded with $17.5 million in voter-approved capital reserves and $32.3 million in debt issuance, with 72.6% of eligible costs covered by state aid. ZIP said the funding plan is not expected to increase taxes beyond the district's usual annual 2% increase. We've had solid financial planning over the years, he added. For more information, visit the www.cheektowaga.k12.org/Board of Education 01/Cornerstone 2026. You're listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Continuing with the Cheektowaga Bee for March 26. Under the Spindle column by Michael Pulse. Spring Bazaar and Craft Fair. The Frank L. Gerlach Post 1320 will host a Spring Bazaar and Craft Fair from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday, May 16th at the Post, which is located at 50 Gates Street in Sloan. They will host a plant sale in conjunction with the event, and there will also be food available for purchase, including barbecued hamburgers. If any crafters out there are interested in joining the event, contact Bob Priswilek at 814-392-4531. Kids Cultivate. The Erie County Agricultural Society is bringing back Kids Cultivate, a youth agriculture pitch contest at the Erie County Fair for its second year. The competition invites youth ages 5 through 21 to present creative business or project ideas that support the future of agriculture across categories such as innovation in farming, sustainability, community education, livestock, and more. Divisions include junior, ages 5 to 12, and senior, ages 13 to 21. Finalists will receive mentorship from agricultural and business leaders throughout the summer before pitching live on stage at the Erie County Fair on Thursday, August 20th, where more than $3,500 in cash prizes will be awarded. Applications are open now through May 1st at midnight and require a brief online form and a 1 to 3 minute pitch video. Questions can be directed to community@ecfair.org. Stolen fire truck recovered in Lackawanna. At around 9:30 a.m. Thursday, March 19th, the Cheektowaga Police Department received a report that a white Chevrolet Silverado pickup truck equipped with emergency lights and a siren was taken from the Bellevue Fire Department, 511 Como Park Boulevard in the town of Cheektowaga, after a burglary that occurred overnight. Later that day, the vehicle was located unoccupied in Lackawanna. An investigation into the identity of the person who took the vehicle is ongoing. Looking at the Be Heard column from the Cheektowaga Bee. There are 2 items. Item 1, this is to the person driving the Erie County Sheriff's car on March 14th around noon and making an illegal left turn from Broadway onto Union. Just because you are in law enforcement doesn't mean you don't have to follow traffic rules. If your excuse was you were responding to a call, your emergency lights were not on. And the second item, where's the Cheektowaga Police when you need them? Over at the fire hall on Nagel. There's a Jeep, black tinted windows, white and tan pit bull hanging out the back passenger window, blows through the stop sign on Nagel and South Creek. Nagel and North Creek just kept right on going. I mean, that's probably enough points under the new points system for this woman to lose her license, and she rightfully deserves to lose her license because that's just plain ignorant and stupid driving like that in a neighborhood with parks. And a news brief in the Cheektowaga Bee. A new statewide law which took effect March 21st will require most retail stores and food establishments across New York to accept cash payments, prohibiting businesses from refusing cash or charging higher prices for customers who use it. The law is aimed at protecting consumers who rely on cash transactions. Businesses are not required to accept bills larger than $20, and the law does not apply to transactions conducted by phone, mail, or online unless the payment is made in person at the store. Stores also may offer on-site machines that convert cash into prepaid cards, provided there are no fees and no minimum load requirement above $1. Turning to the Lancaster Depew Bee for Thursday, March 26th. Best Pizza Contest, Lancaster Depew fills Lancaster Elks Lodge. The Kiwanis Club of Lancaster held their annual Best Pizza Contest, Lancaster Depew, on Sunday, March 22nd, drawing a large crowd to try some pizza and cast their votes at the Elks Lodge on Legion Parkway. Participating restaurants included Pizza Heist, Pizza 151, Papa's Pizza, and Grasso's Pizza. The pizzerias were judged for awards in Best Specialty Pizza, Best Sauce, Best Crust, and the high title of Overall Best Pizza. Lancaster is home of the best pizzas around, said Chuck Eckert, founder of Lancaster's Kiwanis Club, discussing the contest 2 weeks ago. We are looking to have even more pizza places join us next year. The results of the contest are as follows. Best Pizza, The Pizza Heist. Best Specialty Pizza, Pizza 151. Best Sauce, Papa's Pizza Oven. Best Crust, Grasso's Pizza. Next in the Lancaster Depew Bee, drone technology used by law enforcement draws debate from trustee and residents. By James Sinner. A handful of residents made an appearance during the village's Monday meeting, voicing concerns over a request from the Lancaster Police Department to house one of their 2 drones atop the municipal building. The Town of Lancaster Police Department currently has a 3-month trial underway with Flock, F-L-O-C-K, a security company that provides various technologies to law enforcement to aid them with their duties. The town maintains an already established contract with Flock for their stationary cameras. This request put forth by the town due to the municipal building's central location drew skepticism from the residents in attendance at the meeting. Joining in their reluctance, Trustee Gavin O'Brien said his concern was privacy. They aren't out doing surveillance. They are responding to a call that we receive for a call to service. Whether that be an accident, fire, or any type of situation that we feel a drone will help us, said Lieutenant Gunser, discussing how the technology works at the meeting. All of our police officers have body cameras. Every call we go on is being recorded. Video is being obtained. He added that these drones essentially act as a body camera in the sky, beholden to the same rules and regulations of any other data collecting system used by law enforcement. Gunser explained that the drones are reactive and any footage collected that isn't deemed evidence in a criminal case will be discarded after 30 days. Footage that is collected in relation to a crime will be held according to the same standard as any body or dash camera. There's some misinformation out there that is tracking and reading license. It's not doing any of that, Gunser said, explaining how the technology differed from the town's stationary cameras. It's simply a video system that gives us a live view overhead. According to the Lancaster Police Department, the intention of their 2 drones is not only to respond to crimes. Drones can be used to get a view of flooding damage, emergency situations, large events, and active fires. In addition, Flock drones can be deployed almost instantaneously in search of a lost loved one. Trustee Gavin O'Brien appeared to take more of an issue with Flock as the contracted company than the technology itself, not trusting their commitment to protect the privacy of area residents. Someone's worst moment of their life could be shared to some unauthorized user that Flock grants access to, said O'Brien. I don't want their worst moments put online to be accessed by somebody with a key code. They refuse to allow independent audits of their processes, O'Brien added, noting a dissolution of a contract with the Ithaca Common Council following allegations the company had shared information with federal immigration authorities. Flock has maintained that the decision to share information gathered with their technology is the choice of any individual law enforcement agency, and that they do not personally get involved in that process. O'Brien said it's impossible to know how Flock gets involved in cases because they don't allow for independent audits of their systems. In total, the drones cost approximately $50,000 per unit. According to the department, they do not have the capability to read license plates or faces, but rather give officers a bird's-eye view of incidents and events. Despite dissent at the meeting, drones are nothing new for the police department. Residents and O'Brien asked why the department can't continue using their portable drone. Right now, we have an elderly male missing with Alzheimer's. We have to send an officer during shift change back to the station to get the drone, to get to the location, to get it up in the air, unpackage it, unfold it, and launch it, to look for this person, Gunser said. This drone we currently have is more efficient. It will be there up within 90 seconds. If you had a loved one missing, would you call the police department and say, I want police service, but I don't want a drone to look for my granddaughter? Mayor Bill Schroeder, who has been in communication with the town and police personnel, said he plans to pursue passing a resolution to allow one of the drones to be housed atop of the municipal building. The other drone will be located at the police station. Say, for example, a child was abducted from the Lancaster town pool and they got a report. They, the drone, could track the abductor if they had a description, and while cars are trying to navigate the streets, this drone doesn't have to stop for anything, Schroeder said. It would greatly be a tool to assist the police department. In senior news for the Lancaster Depew Bee, Lancaster Public Library to host a huge donated book sale. The Lancaster Public Library is inviting local readers to stock up on bargain books while supporting an important community resource during their huge donated book sale at the end of April. The sale runs from noon to 4 p.m. Friday, April 24th, with a cost of $10 per bag, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, April 25th, with a cost of $10 per bag, and noon to 4 p.m. Sunday, April 26th, with a decreased cost of $5 per bag. The event concludes April 27th, when all remaining reading materials left out by the library staff on the book sale table will be given away free from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Proceeds from the multi-day sale will help keep the library open on Sundays during the school year, providing extra access for students, families, and weekend visitors. This is a cash-only event. The sale is sponsored by the Friends of the Lancaster Library, a volunteer group that works year-round to raise funds and awareness for the library's programs, collections, and services. And some items from the Be Heard column in the Lancaster Depew Bee for March 26. Item 1. Why was the Village of Depew Department of Public Works doing pothole patching on Warner Road in the town of Lancaster up toward Pleasant View Drive? We pay our taxes in Depew to have you fix potholes in Depew, in the village, not the town of Lancaster. Come on, quit wasting our money. Editor's note: the east side of Depew is part of the town of Lancaster. Sometimes the two municipalities will share services based on their combined tax base. Next item. I have to talk to the people at the senior center about their tax reassessments, seeing that everybody's reassessments went up quite a bit, $30,000 to $60,000. I'm just wondering why the seniors were going to end up paying this. That's why we're taking a petition up to end the tax on the village. We don't think we need a village tax for 6 people standing over a manhole. They could have 7 now. How about lowering our taxes instead of raising this? Why do we have a supervisor that goes along with these tax increases when they know you've got so many seniors living in Lancaster and they just about getting by with the power company raising everything? What are we people supposed to do? Next item. I have a question about the investigation into assigned counsel program from Erie County. The article was disturbing. I'm wondering if attorneys who are part of that program are also considered public employees, and if they have access to a state pension, and also if they have access to all of the other benefits the state employees have, including cheap health insurance and stuff like that. Next item. As a resident of Lancaster, I am thoroughly disgusted with the Town of Lancaster Board with this reassessment. Number 1, the police department can't enforce overnight parking. Number 2, the highway department hasn't touched Seabird Road or Warner Road in over 5 years. While the one road's closed for 5 years, the other's deplorable condition. Number 3, there's no park in the south end of town. It was a mystery when the board and the rec, wouldn't tell you where they were going to put a $7 million park. I can't blame the voters for not voting it down. And number 4, if you don't shovel your sidewalk, the building department sends you a letter for no snow. But yet in the village here, we have 2 sidewalk plows and personnel shovels this downtown area. Why should the residents that don't get this service be penalized? This is totally wrong. This reassessment could have been held off for another year, especially with the high energy costs and the problems with gasoline that we're having right now. The board makes no sense. I can't wait for the election to come. And this item, I reside in the Glendale-Parkdale area, which the town wants to take down 80 trees, cut down 80 trees. This is totally unnecessary. There's nothing wrong with these silver maples. Yes, they're old, but a tree can survive a couple hundred years, and these were put in probably in the 50s. Why are we cutting them down? They're good for the environment, provide shade. It makes the area cooler and also the beauty of the trees. I'll never see a tree-lined street like this in my lifetime again. Tell the town to leave the trees alone. And a final item, it's March 17th, and I'd like to know why an establishment has the whole sidewalk covered with their tables. It's tough for a family, and when I'm walking my dog to get by there, why are they allowed to do this? You are listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 2:50 p.m. and we're turning to the Canton Bee for March 26th. City of Tonawanda to host e-waste recycling drive April 11th. Residents of the City of Tonawanda will have an opportunity to safely dispose of old electronics during a drive-through e-waste recycling event hosted by the City of Tonawanda on Saturday, April 11th. The contactless drop-off event will run from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the City of Tonawanda Middle/High School located at 600 Fletcher Street. All accepted items will be recycled free of charge. Organizers note that there is a limit of 3 televisions per vehicle, including CRT or tube-style TVs. Accepted items include computers, monitors, printers, keyboards, video game systems, phones, and tablets. A full list of acceptable materials is available at www.buffalocomputerrecycling.com. Items not accepted at the event include refrigerators, dehumidifiers, microwaves, smoke detectors, alkaline batteries, and light bulbs. The event is hosted by Buffalo Computer Recycling and the Kenmore Tonawanda's Rotary Club in partnership with New York State Assemblyman Bill Conrad, City of Tonawanda Mayor William Strasburg II, and State Senator Jeremy Selner. Donations to the Rotary Club of the Tonawandas will be accepted. For more information, residents can call 716-545-6369. Continuing with the Canton Bee, Town of Tonawanda looks at new ways to handle biosolids by Mike Kessler. Biosolids are the product of wastewater treatment generated from the dewatering of solids at a wastewater treatment plant. Solid matter comes from the community through all the collection system to the treatment plant and is treated with a biological process of activated sludge treatment. In this process, the solids are removed prior to filtration, and those solids are conveyed to the dewatering facility. Dewatering is done at the Town of Tonawanda water treatment plant by a centrifuge unit that spins off water, leaving finished product that is about 25% solid. Transporting the product to a landfill costs the town more than $1.2 million a year. The town is looking at alternative ways to better handle biosolids while reducing landfill costs. With water weighing 8.35 pounds per gallon, the cost of landfilling has a dramatic impact on all municipality budgets. Options to reduce weight by eliminating most of the water are drying, gasification, pyrolysis, and incineration. The town recently teamed up with the Niagara Sewer District to run solids through a drying machine, producing a product that was 99% solid. Reducing the biosolids weight helps to reduce the cost of wastewater treatment, but this will not prevent the elimination of the product going to the landfills. There is a moratorium bill in Albany that would ban any land application of biosolids, meaning more product would be sent to landfills, causing them to fill up sooner while driving up current costs. New landfills are not opening, so the need to look at alternatives is imperative, or sewer bills will rise dramatically in the future. On a recent trip to Japan, I saw many facilities recovering resources from biosolids. Drying, incineration, and digestion are used to allow reuse and recovery of resources from the solids. Phosphorus is recovered and reused in fertilizer. Methane is routinely recovered as a fuel source to produce energy. One facility leads the world in recovering hydrogen, which can be a fuel alternative to gasoline and can power vehicles. Carbon dioxide, which is often perceived as a detriment to the environment, is recovered at one wastewater facility, and it is then injected into a greenhouse to shorten grow time of fruits and vegetables. The byproduct of incineration is used as a supplement in concrete. This reduction, reuse, and reclaim is a way of life in Japan. The goal of zero waste in Japan's wastewater treatment is set for 2050, and they are well on their way to achieving that goal. Ways to follow and learn from what is being done in other countries can lead to the stabilization and even the reduction of water, sewer bills for town residents. As a town, we are in front of trying to find those alternative methods by considering drying, but the initial investment will be substantial. My goal is to work with other communities to become a leader in biosolid handling with innovative reuses while containing and possibly reducing costs to taxpayers. Turning to the local news section of the Kenton Bee. Volunteers invited to annual canal sweep in North Tonawanda. Residents are invited to roll up their sleeves and help clean local waterways and parkland during the annual canal clean sweep on Saturday, April 18th. The event will take place from 9 a.m. to noon at 987 Sweeney Street, where volunteers will join efforts led by the Mayor's Office, North Tonawanda Parks and Recreation, the North Tonawanda Waterfront Commission, and New York State Parks and Trails. Each year, community members work together to remove debris from parks and shorelines, helping keep the public areas clean and safe and environmentally healthy. The event is a chance for residents to take pride in their city while contributing to a cleaner and greener community. Food and refreshments will be provided for volunteers, and supplies will be available, though participants are encouraged to bring their own rakes, gloves, and bags if possible. The event may also count towards volunteer service hours. The Canals Clean Sweep is supported by local sponsors, including Gillespie's Sub Shop, Parks and Trails New York, and Armstrong. For more information or to sign up, call 716-695-8540 or email cclausen, it's ECLAUSEN, at northtonawanda.gov. Continuing with local news from the Kenton Bee, North Tonawanda to host public meeting on zoning code update. The City of North Tonawanda is inviting residents to participate in the first public meeting focusing on updating North Tonawanda's zoning code. The meeting was already held on March 31st at the Carnegie Arts Center, located at 240 Goundry Street. The session was part of an ongoing effort to revise the city's zoning regulations which guide land use and development. The city aims to update the code to better reflect current needs and future growth while shaping how the city develops in years ahead. Additional information about the zoning update is available at www.lumbercitydc.com/city updates. Questions can be directed to Emma Phillips at ephillips@cscos.com. And finally, Erie County announces calls for artists. Erie County is inviting artists as part of the Arts in Public Places program for public art commissions to be installed exclusively at the Buffalo and Erie County Botanical Gardens and Isle View Park in Tonawanda. This opportunity is for artists residing in Erie County who have not been previously selected to compete or complete an Art in Public Places public art project. Each selected project will receive funding of up to $75,000. All works will be prominently displayed in each of these locations, providing high visibility and engagement with diverse audiences. The deadline for applying is noon on Monday, April 20th. A virtual Q&A session will be held at 5:30 p.m. on Thursday, March 24th. Artists interested in applying are strongly encouraged to attend to learn more about the opportunity, selection process, and project requirements. To submit questions prior or after the virtual information session, email publicart@erie.gov. The project is administered by the Erie County Department of Environment and Planning and the Arts in Public Places Committee, which is dedicated to commissioning public art that reflects diversity, creativity, and the voices of Erie County residents. For questions or additional information, visit www.erie.gov/publicart. You've been listening to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Stay tuned for our second hour. Your reader for this hour has been Patricia. Thank you for listening.
Coming up next in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, we have a reading of our Southtowns papers, including Orchard Park, Hamburg, East Aurora, and West Seneca's B papers or Sons. At 3 o'clock, we have the Ample Eagle, and at 4 o'clock, we have the Grand Island Niagara County Tribune Sentinel. Stay tuned for these readings and more throughout the day, and contact us if you have comments, suggestions, or questions. You're listening to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Volunteer radio readers broadcast daily readings, 24 hours a day, of newspapers, magazines, books, and other printed matter to area people who are blind or have a print disability, who are provided reading radios. The Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service has broadcast almost 40 years of radio readings to those without sight. Our broadcast signal is provided at no charge by WNED. Radio reading studios are at 1199 Harlem Road in Cheektowaga. For more information on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, call 716-821-5555. The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or have another print disability.